The morning had started just like any other, peaceful, quiet, and predictable. Sunlight streamed through the blinds as I stood in the kitchen, pouring batter onto the skillet, enjoying the light sizzle that came with every pancake. Jace, my 14-year-old son, was still upstairs, probably scrolling on his phone or watching one of his gaming videos. The soft hum of the fridge and the occasional chirping of birds outside made it feel like just another calm weekend. But then came a faint, unnatural sound from the front of the house. A soft metallic rattle. I paused, spatula in hand, straining to hear. It happened again. Not loud, not aggressive, just enough to grab attention. At first, I thought maybe the wind had pushed something against the door or a package was being delivered without the usual knock. But it wasn't either of those things. This was more precise. It was the distinct sound of a key in a lock, and someone was trying to be subtle about it. "Dad," Jace's voice called out from upstairs. "Is someone at the door? It sounds like they're trying to open it." I placed the spatula down and moved toward the front hallway cautiously. Whoever was at the door hadn't rung the bell. They hadn't knocked. Just the quiet, deliberate jiggling of the doorknob. A creeping sense of unease started building in my chest. I reached the door but didn't open it. Instead, I leaned forward and looked through the peephole. There, standing brazenly on my porch, was Karen. Not a friend, not a neighbor dropping by for a chat, Karen. The self-proclaimed enforcer of our law. She wasn't elected to any real position, but she acted like the neighborhood's security guard, lawyer, judge, and mayor all wrapped in one. Everyone called her HOA Karen, and everyone avoided her. But what made my stomach turn wasn't just seeing her. It was what she was doing. In her hand was a small brass key. She was trying it in my lock. She held it close, squinting as if expecting it to work. When it didn't turn, she pulled it out slightly, inspected it, then tried again. She wasn't fumbling or panicking. Her movements were slow, deliberate. She was trying not to draw attention. She didn't know I was watching her. The key didn't work again. She sighed, glanced over her shoulder, and looked around as if checking whether anyone had seen her. My pulse quickened. Why would she have a key to my home? What gave her the right to even try it? As I was about to open the door and confront her, I heard rapid footsteps. Jace was already coming downstairs. He must have seen her through the upstairs window or felt the tension in my voice when I called his name earlier. Before I could say a word, he reached the door and pulled it open without hesitation. Karen jumped back, caught in the act, her hand still near the knob, key clutched in her fingers. And for the first time, her confidence cracked. Karen's face went pale the moment the door swung open. She stood frozen, key still pinched between her fingers, as if caught mid-crime, which, by all accounts, she was. Her mouth opened slightly, but no words came out at first. She hadn't expected anyone to be home, especially not to be confronted so suddenly. Jace stood in the doorway, tall for his age, with that no-nonsense look he had perfected over years of watching me deal with neighborhood nonsense. His tone was calm but sharp. "Why are you trying to open our door?" he asked flatly. Karen stumbled over her words. I was just checking. I thought something was wrong with the lock. You know, just doing a quick safety check. Neighborhood watch, you understand." Jace didn't flinch. "That's not your job. And you don't have a reason to be holding a key to our house." Karen's hand immediately dropped to her side, slipping the key into her coat pocket like she hoped we hadn't noticed. Her eyes darted around the porch, looking for backup, a witness, anything to shift the focus. "There's been talk in the law about people not securing their homes properly. It's a safety issue, really. Someone's been leaving their bins out overnight. It starts small, you know, and next thing you have break-ins. So you thought you'd break in yourself." Jace snapped. Her lips pressed into a tight, fake smile. "Don't be ridiculous, young man. I'm a member of the HOA board. I have certain privileges, access, responsibilities. You're not on the board," I said, stepping up behind my son. My voice was calm but firm. "You're not elected. You've just been harassing people with that clipboard and thinking you can act like this neighborhood is your kingdom. But today you crossed the line." Karen's eyes widened when she realized I'd heard everything, and seen it too. Her entire body shifted into defensive mode. "I was told by Mr. Haverly, the former HOA president, that certain members might have emergency keys. This could be one of those." It's not even labeled. Maybe the locksmith made a mistake. I was trying to help. No locksmith gives out copies of home keys without a homeowner's permission, I said. And even if that were true, you still have no right to test keys on private property without consent. She was flustered now. Her tone became louder, more shrill. Well, maybe if your trash bins weren't always misaligned or your Christmas lights hadn't stayed up until March, I wouldn't have to keep checking. So now trying to unlock my front door is punishment for leaving up decorations? I asked, raising an eyebrow. Jace stepped forward slightly, arms still crossed. You need to leave. Karen looked from me to Jace, clearly realizing she'd gone too far this time. Fine, she muttered. But don't be surprised when I bring this up at the next HOA meeting. We'll be the ones bringing it up, I replied, along with the police. She turned and stormed off the porch, but she didn't walk away like someone who'd won. She walked like someone who had finally been caught.